Jai Guruji Auntie.
Jai Guruji. So our next our next chapter is a very important subject, surrender. Like most of us think we have surrendered, but we're not, including myself. So surrender is a very big word with a bigger meaning. It means acceptance of all that is going on and trusting in his divine plans. So surrender is not something that you do. Surrender is an insight that the ego exists not, that I am not separate. Surrender is not an act, but an understanding. My impression of Kuwait will never fade into the alleys of time, as our experiences with Guruji and his Sangat are imprinted on our souls. So this was me remembering Kuwait and my experiences there. During my stay there, I shared the room with Gauri aunties, and Tyagi uncle's very enlightened daughter, Nitika Raj, who is very evidently climbing the spiritual ladder with great swiftness and simplicity. She shared her experiences with me during my stay, and we were in tune with one another's spiritual sensibilities. Her life, her depth, as well as her clarity and articulation at such a young age blew me away. So here is Satsang by Nitika Raj, which I'm going to read. I am Nitika Raj. Where do I even begin to describe my journey that began many lifetimes ago? In this life, I met Guruji when I was around 19, 20 years old. But he has known me forever, as I have known him for all eternity. Now I'm 29, and my life has changed completely as a result of his divine grace. It's important to share that life has not been easy since meeting him. Rather, I have never seen more difficult times. But those experiences have been critical in facilitating my spiritual growth and deepening my connection with him. Guruji has changed, cleansed, and purified me from within. A process, of course, that is still ongoing and probably will continue throughout this lifetime. With Guruji, I have learned to never say never. Nothing is impossible for him. But because of that, it does not mean that we can or should ask for anything. He always says, manno nahi, mango nahi, manno. When we ask, our human desires emerge from our limited vision and small minds. We tend to ask for material things, job, economic security, house, car, good health, marriage, children, or perhaps even spiritual moksha, nirvana. But all this is very presumptuous of us. We have a long karmic history that we fortunately do not remember. And we cannot begin to guess what awaits us in the future as a consequence of our past actions. Without knowing all this, we ask for what we want, and we get very upset if or when we don't get it. There is a grand karmic process at work that requires our humility, our patience, our perseverance to settle until things return to a balance. Guruji sees and knows everything. When we don't ask, we are trusting him to take the reins of our lives and steer us in the direction which is for our highest best. Surrender, says Guruji repeatedly. What does it mean, though, in practical terms? Guruji values practicality greatly. It means no ifs and buts. It means दिमाग जोड़ों के साथ बाहर छोड़ के आया करो. It means never doubting him, nor his plan. It means that when we go through painful experiences, when we go through painful experiences, we trust that those experiences are as much a blessing as the joyous ones. When we face our problems with strength, grace, and humility, and instead of asking, why me, we can learn to ask, what does my Guru want to teach me through this experience? Then we are open to receiving answers as well as his blessings. In order to be filled with Guruji's grace, we must first empty ourselves. The human soul is like a vessel or a pipe. It gets dirty, rusty, and clogged with lifetimes of karma. It gets filled with materialism and earthly desires. In order for Guruji to work on us, he has to clean us first. We are not even aware, or we are not even aware enough or powerful enough to clean ourselves. We can't possibly do that. We are like children who are not potty trained. Guruji trains us. He does everything from cleaning our vessels to filling it with what he knows his children need as opposed to what they want. We think we know so much or are so accomplished to have so much. Our first mistake is that we think. From ego stems all the other illusions of doing, having, deserving. We are not even capable of simply being, of not thinking or thinking nothing. We cannot stop the constant stream of thoughts long enough to find God in stillness within us. We are led astray by our minds. Our highest purpose would be served if we were empty enough of ourselves and our thoughts, our ego, our ideas of me and I become instruments of God's divine will. If you have ever seen Guruji's famous autograph, you will notice he boldly signs in large black scroll, love always Guruji, not love Guruji. God is in the big photograph as much as in the little detail because God is perfect. He made sure to write always in capital so that his children will remember that. Even though he will not be saying it to us every single moment, but we must imbibe that fact. Even, especially when we are going through the hardest storms in life, we must remind ourselves that Guruji always blessed his Sangat by saying, love always. So if we really believe in him and if we trust him, then we would never doubt his love for us. And the storms would soon turn into a calm because we know in our hearts that he's always with us. But it is up to us to always be with him through our actions, words, thoughts, and feelings. He's the sun, and we are his little diyas all over the world that reflect his powerful and radiant light. If we all were to serve with the true spirit of composite light, we could make the world so brilliant. We often get insecure and our faith becomes dim because we have never known such unconditional and eternal love. When our faith is shaken, the light gets dimmer and it becomes harder to connect with him. Then we become desperate for him to reach out to us, to give his darshan or his fragrance or a sign or a message that he is there with us. The fact is, it is not him who has moved. We have moved away. from his hukam, his teachings, his love. We get so embroiled in our darkness that we forget to connect with him or reconnect with him. We seek reassurance, and since he's so very loving and has limitless patience and compassion, he gives us a glimmer of hope. But in fact, this is a failure on our part. Our faith should be strong enough so that we can return to his love always message and simply believe in it. There is no logic to trust. That is why it is called a leap of faith. We are the ones who need to take the next leap and trust that he is carrying us through it all the muck that we're going through, he knows. And that even the cliff is an illusion created for our growth. Everything Guruji does is done for our highest good. Never doubt that. In order to truly receive the unconditional love that he is always enveloping us in, we have to have unconditional trust. Like Bambi Auntie describes in her book. By constantly remembering God, we are constantly with him. Thus, via Simran, he is constantly with us. Guruji once told Ushanti to connect with him telepathically, and that he would also respond in the same way, telepathically. She asked, how do I do that? Guruji's response was, Dhyan mein. Dhyan means meditation, but literally it also means concentration. We connect with Guruji by simply concentrating on his sarup, or otherwise, just by imagining him sitting in the seat of our hearts. A friend excuse me. A friend once said to me that meditation is a practice in constantly failing to meditate. I have been failing at meditation for a long time, but now that I know the failure is part of the process, I am gaining the perseverance to simply come back when my attention wanders. Again and again and again until I sit in stillness. The more I return, the more I feel Guruji's presence. Even when we fail at something, our ego gets in the way to tell us that we are no good and to give up. The mind wants to retain control instead of allowing us to still it and let the soul take over. Witness that ego message and do not let it get in the way of connecting with Guruji. Again, practice and perseverance. What can we even give to God? It would be foolish or egotistical to think that we can offer him anything that is truly ours, because it is all given by him. Even the flowers we offer him are grown by him to mankind. It is his gift to mankind. All that we currently possess is given by him and is temporary. It can be taken away in a minute. So never feel proud or egotistical about everything that we have achieved, because it is actually all him. So we need to be only in gratitude. We can offer back to him the free will that he's so kindly given us to allow us to make our right choices and live as free people. I'm grateful for that. And in every prayer to Guruji, I beg him to take it back so that my life may unfold according to the divine will and with divine guidance only. Our souls are on a journey to return home to the great soul. In order to do that, Guruji has revealed himself to guide us back to him. My daily life is a blessing and a miracle because it has Guruji's presence. To know God is to know the greatest magic. In each day, there is freshness and openness. Anything may happen while I'm living life under his loving eyes. Whatever happens I know it will be a great gift from him to me. I have already learned so much from him and from the very large Sangat family he has connected my family and me. To Guruji, I can only say thank you and I love you. And thank you for loving and believing in me now and always. So, chapter 24, The Family Connects. This is a large one. Let's see if we have time. Today I'm a little short of time, but let's read. Excuse me, my throat is gone today. So, chapter 24, The Family Connects. Actually, my throat is gone. Shall we continue tomorrow?
Yes, Auntie, please.
I won't be able to read, I don't think. Yeah.
So
So,
we shall
tomorrow.
continue tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Jai Guruji.
Thank you. Thank you, Auntie, for reading. Jai
Thank
Guruji.